podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
N15 PCA.
Nate's hit 454.
Rose.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So we got a super short sneak peek of the new Rugrats, and I'm a 90s Nick kid, like hardcore. I grew up on Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy. You know, all those are like my three favorites at the beginning.
The classic Nickelodeon.
The classic out of the gate.
That's
and Rugrats, and Rugrats, well, that was Cartoon Network.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
So Rugrats was something in our family that we watched all the way through.
A sea of orange tapes. Because they were orange tapes when you get, and you'd only, usually we get the holiday sets.
Was
and
the
they only
ones,
have 2 to 3 episodes. But
we've seen the Rugrats all the way from babies to teenagers.
To all grown up.
All grown up.
All grown up.
So I could say that I am a fan of Rugrats. So I see this and I'm not the biggest fan of the 3D animation. I would prefer 2D traditional looking animation over 3D 99% of the time.
Especially with something like this. Like this project, I would have went classic.
My thing with me, if it's not done by Pixar, Disney, it doesn't look good using with CGI like this. It just doesn't.
The response I would say, when they made the Hey Arnold live action, not live action,
the Jungle movie.
It was updated graphics, but it was the same style.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted with this. I wanted upgraded, but the same 2D style of it.
What do I like? The original voice cast? Angelica, Tommy, perfection. Come on, Whip Todd. Perfect. Sounds just like Tommy made an episode yesterday.
And the sound effects were the same.
Like the weird little background. But Cosby Chuco has nothing to do with this.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. So you're not going to get that Cosby Chuco at the end of the episode. But, so we see Reptar. Looks okay. We see like Susie's, because they're all watching like a Reptar movie or something. The close-ups on the faces...
It looks unfinished.
It also looks like you're trying to get that whole boss baby.
Yeah,
that market.
I just don't like how dark the room was.
I think it's because they were watching a movie.
But if you watch the original, it's never like that.
It's never that dark.
Right. Which I really liked.
And also, it's weird too. I know it was just like the beginning clip. I hope they still have the weird openers.
Where it's like close in on something.
Super close or super weird. It has like creepy.
Like they're eating like cereal or something, but it's so close in.
I would just keep the original opening, just make it 3D.
Yeah, like where Tommy gets a diaper and he does a thing. And here's the thing. I can get you... Chucky's voice isn't the original voice actor.
She passed away.
They're doing a good job of a sound-alike, but it's just not
it.
You're there, but it's not 100% because it should never be 100%.
But you know what's funny though? Why did they pick that voice to be said? Which is funny because they could have picked another scene with Tommy.
They want people to get used to the voice.
Yeah, they wanted to I guess it's test the waters. I guess. Oh, see if you like it.
But also you have to do Stu. He passed away. The voice actor.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting too.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Do you recycle old storylines and just make them 3D, or do you just... That's where they're gonna run into these problems because they did so many episodes, so many stories. Do you kind of tread on some of the old stuff? I don't know where they're going to go. Is this going to be all brand new? Because even the gag in this is something that I may not have seen exactly, but it feels like something Angelica would do. Hey. And the fact that she calls Chucky Finster. Hey, Finster, he's by his last name. Hey, go give me those cookies. Because she probably got in trouble for trying to get cookies. Well, if I send him and he needs to go get it. Then he's like, okay, but he doesn't know what a pantry is.
But I like the fact that showing Angelica's still bad.
Yeah.
She's still manipulative.
Yeah. But I do like the fact that there's certain episodes where she didn't allow other people to screw with her
These
kids.
are my babies.
Yeah. I did like the fact there was like another group of like them, but like different. Like there was like a kid that was like Chucky.
The brothers. They were all boys.
And then like Angelica kind of like that, boy, well, my babies are better than your babies. I do like Angelica as being like the main villain, but at the same time, she wasn't so cruel that she didn't want them like to get hurt. She would let them take the blame for something.
Oh yeah.
But like if it came down to it, she wasn't gonna let them like get like.
See, we didn't even see the twins either.
Yeah, they were sitting there, but they didn't talk.
Another question: did we see Chucky's stepsister?
Kimmy.
I think this is pre-Kimmy.
Yeah, so which is interesting.
The pre-Kimmy timeline.
Yeah, pre-Kimmy.
Here again, we have Grandpa. We got Dee Dee. We got Stu. We need to see those characters because I don't know that some of the 3D it makes me feel like why can't it just be animated?
The wall looked really good. Like it's detailed on the walls, but their
faces.
That close up on Susie looked bad.
Yeah,
it really did. And I like Susie. She's a cool character because Susie Carmichael is like the sweet and kind and what Angelica likes to project to people, but she's not for reals.
These for that for reals. Yeah.
There's certain things that Susie knows that she's smart. She knows that she's nicer than Angelica, but she'll do it in such a way to like when they were going to Paris. And she's like, "Oh, I can speak French," and she says a whole sentence. It's like, no one likes to show off Susie, but she does it in such a way like, "Okay, go ahead. I know you're gonna end up destroying yourself."
Which reminds me of an episode where Charlotte and Susie's mom got in like in an actual clash and see who was better. That would make me laugh
because they're both professional women.
Yeah,
true that.
Because she's a businesswoman, she's a doctor.
Oh, but come on, you know who's better. She always like. Yeah, I went to study at Le Cordon Bleu and I was getting my pilot's license and after the Peace Corps and raising all these, and Dee Dee's like, what? Like, all these things.
I had a family and I had 3 kids. It's like, damn, lady.
I think the perfect family people,
she's a doctor.
Yeah, she's a doctor.
She delivered Dill. We didn't see Dill either.
No, we didn't. So this is pre.
This is all pre all that.
So it's pre the movies.
Yeah, the first movie.
The thing is, I doubt we'll see any of the Jewish stuff. I doubt it.
She did mention
Hanukkah. She said behind the Hanukkah decorations.
That was one thing. That's one thing I really liked about Rugrats. They showed Christmas episodes and they had Hanukkah
episodes. I like that.
And they, for what it's worth, they tell a pretty good version of the Hanukkah story. And it's little kid version.
The Passover episode is
and
really
I do like of course it's going to have the jokes from the Rugrats, but it shows you that there was the plagues and then the whole idea of Passover and like where matzah bread and all that stuff came from. They do a pretty decent job of telling that story.
I would agree.
Because a Maccababy's got to do it.
Maccababy's got to
Because there was people telling them they couldn't read the stories in the books that their fathers did, and they told them they weren't allowed to do it. AKA when the Egyptians and the Romans told them they couldn't practice their religion.
Yep. They actually had 2 episodes. That was the second one. Yeah.
What I like so much about the whole episode is they're fighting about the play and about what's right and what's wrong, having a family, having a business. But at the very end, the most important thing is to continue your traditions with children. That's what they show on the screen where the stage thing falls down and they're there.
And then also the other story of the grass is always greener. Because, like he said, like, oh, you have this business, you have all this money. He's like, yeah, but you had the family I never could have.
And I also like the fact that they did show they had parents and they had a grandfather and there was a family and you saw their problems too. And it wasn't just about the kids.
Yeah.
It's a whole dynamic.
Would you think that old ass man wants all those kids?
Absolutely not.
Well, especially the fact he falls asleep. Like, they know that.
The man fell asleep during Pearl Harbor. Hey, I sound the alarm as soon as I
woke as soon as I woke up. It's like, imagine like just sleeping and waking up. There's no building anymore. Better go tell someone.
Bombs are falling, you idiot.
Well, if there's other people out there who can help me solve, I have a few Rugrats mysteries. Dee Dee's parents are like significantly older.
They're like Russian and like 900 years old.
So maybe they had Dee Dee when she was like 50.
But here's the thing: Dee Dee has like a half brother.
They went to his wedding.
Yes.
Where did that come out of? Like, is that just someone she considers a half brother?
No, like a good friend of the family, and they were over so much. Oh, it's like
he's in like multiple episodes.
Yes,
there's the wedding episode.
But he has Dee Dee's hair. They both have the crazy red hair.
And his wife has red hair. He has like brown hair.
Is it brown? Oh yeah, yeah.
He gets married and then they babysit. Remember, he has the chart and he like tries.
He tries to do it though.
Yeah, because they were thinking about having kids, and they're like, oh, we got to test to see how we do with kids and all this stuff. Yeah.
Like these crazy ass kids.
Yeah.
Like, how does he ever play? Like, he's only 2 episodes. I don't know if there's anyone out there that could figure that out, or maybe it's just a mystery under myself.
I don't think they thought about it.
No, a lot of shows don't think.
I don't think they thought about the lineage of her family.
I'm gonna make it work. Well, I want to know.
I love it's funny when they did questions like that at panels and they're like, you know what, we didn't think about that. I'm sorry.
Well, because the
odds of having a character again.
Yeah, and they keep it the same. Like they said, oh, this is Dee Dee's half brother.
It's like, oh.
So weird.
Well, and also it's weird too. The parents are really old because the grandfather remembers a time where there was no truck.
I know they're even older than Stu's.
Yeah.
Yes, by far. Yeah.
And also, Stu's father's story was kind of sad a little bit too because he had Trixie, which was his wife.
Yes.
But then you had Morgana.
Yeah, it was like.
He was supposed to be with, but there was a mistake.
Yeah, they go. There's like, I like that we never get the full story.
No.
About what happened. I do like that he tried to like dye his hair black to make himself look
cute.
younger. She's like, Stu, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm a grandpa. I have kids.
You like how their names are Stu, Drew, and Lou.
It's so stupid.
Bippity boppity.
I like the fact that he owned a repair shop.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like it when they were babies, and you can see how much Tommy's like his dad.
Yes.
Now, we could do a Rugrats retrospective if we wanted to.
The only one out there when they did all grown up and Tommy's hair was purple. That was
just
like
his dad's.
Oh my goodness.
It's like his dad.
Because they were debating to make him balder now because he's been bald. And his little pigeon toe, like he'd always like stand with his feet in.
Yeah.
But overall, this is gonna because Rugrats is a good story. There's good stories there. Mm-hmm. There's some of the best animated cartoon things. Some Rugrats episodes belong up there.
Yeah.
Chucky's mom.
Oh.
That whole episode, it's a heartbreaker.
She's in the
Mother's
clouds. Day. She's in the wind.
He honest to God thought he didn't have a mom because he didn't bring her a good enough present. That's why he doesn't have a mom.
Day, so they go make him all these Mother's Day gifts, and that way
that's why his mom didn't come.
Also, Chaz coming to realize how he had to deal with it, and he was just.
I'm protecting Chucky because it'll make him sad.
You're protecting yourself.
It's like no, you're protecting yourself from having to think about your wife.
Yeah, exactly. I know you guys are talking about some heavy subject here, but I want to say I like the fact that it looks like this takes place in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
No modern things. Like, I'm glad they didn't
don't do that. Don't make it
no iPads and then
there's
Charlotte had a cell phone.
But it does have that 90s flavor. It does feel like it takes place in a time before nonstop internet, no YouTube. Because that would just change everything.
It would.
Like, give the kids screen time. Like, I don't want any of that.
No, I don't want them Snapchatting, TikTok.
Yeah, that's like...
that'd be weird.
But overall... I can probably get used to the look of it, but at first it just hit me hard.
It's a little jarring.
It's a little jarring. The faces are a little too round, and
I think this is coming with probably all older fans. We all probably just close our eyes and we can just visualize.
Smiling from their voices.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, when Tommy's like, "Get him, Riptide, use your laser beams."
Yay!
The way he says laser, he always says it with that little lisp. That's what gets me. Like, it gets me back in my nostalgic feels. But like something like Chucky's hair looks weird in 3D.
It does.
It literally looks like Sonic the effing Hedgehog with all the spikes because he just had that crazy curly hair.
Mm-hmm. Remember the episode where he wanted to change his hair?
So black hair.
Other face in the crowd.
Yeah, then like people keep forgetting him.
You've been Ravenized.
Yeah,
that's what it was called.
Do you remember the one where they got rich? And he had to go to like the rich kid school.
Yes.
What he did to him.
He effed him
that
over.
Would be. I don't wish any harm on you, but I don't want you in my life anymore.
Drew, because it goes, he's an investment guy. Here, take some of my money, invest in some things. I know you're really smart. And he's like, because he won. What was it, like $6 million or something?
Yeah,
he's like, so what did you do with that $4 million? He's like, I went to some earwax thing and it all went under. He's like, oh my God, I still at least have $2 million. He's like, well, actually, I invested all of it.
Invested all of his money.
And
I would
have killed my friend.
Finster is such a nice guy.
They were college roommates.
Yeah, they were.
And then we called him Mr. Pickles until they were like adults. Like, you can call me Drew. I'm your friend. I've known you for 15 years.
Okay, Mr. Pickles.
I mean Drew.
He called him Mr.
Pickles.
What was the name of that company again? You were
this guy.
Yamaguchi.
Yeah, Yamaguchi. Get Yamaguchi on the phone. And that was like a running gag through the whole entire show. They're constantly...
and
she was always doing business with Japan because when some of the faxes broke, and she's like, on Sunday, they're not taking breaks on Sunday. We have to have my stuff here now.
And also the chickenpox episode.
They got chickenpox. That was funny.
That was a good one.
His name is mentioned in that episode too.
I do. There's just so many little fun episodes where... the one where Tommy got cut and he thought he was gonna all his blood's gonna leave his body.
He was willing to sacrifice himself for his friend. He's
that was so beautiful.
I can't go on because I got this boo boo. It's okay. I get him all the time. And Chucky got to be the brave one essentially, or speak to Tommy who's overreacting. And Chucky's like, no, it's okay.
I tell you one name that in Rugrats that make any real Rugrats fan cry: Melville.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking Melville! He had a little pill bug as like a friend, and it died. And then they're like, we'll get you a bunch of other bugs. He's like, no, Melville was my friend. I don't want other bugs. And then he had to learn about death and how when you die, you don't come back. This is a little kid's show. And that was another kind of beautiful episode of where kids can take heavy things because they won't have to learn about these things.
Yeah.
And with a pet dying or like a grandpa or something, that they're going to have to understand that it goes away and your memories is what keeps them alive in your heart. Oh my God, I love it.
But the thing is, he picked a horrible pet. Bugs die.
But he's a little. He doesn't know any better.
A day or two.
And what I loved about it, each kid had a different perspective. Like Phil was just like, "Can I eat it?" He looked at Chucky. He's like, "That bug's dead. Like he ain't moving."
So can I eat him? Like, no, you can't eat my friend. They ate bugs and nasty stuff.
Worms.
And then and then all of them deal with it differently. And then Tommy's just like, you gotta let it go. Like it's almost like, what the heck are these kids so poetic and the way they all think.
But I do love how they tried to do something good for their friend. They tried to do it.
And their way of understanding, they tried to help them cope the way that they cope. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just have to be there for somebody, not necessarily show them the way or give them advice. You just have to be there.
Oh, another episode. I love the trial with the stolen bike. I love the fact that Tommy defended his cousin to the end. But
he looked really bad though, Angelica.
Yeah, he's
super bad.
And you're an awful person, so everyone's gonna just assume that
you're
you
gonna feel so bad when you find out the truth, Angelica. But another thing, you keep being bad, and you find out you're good. No one's gonna believe you.
The reflector.
Yeah, the reflector. Yeah, I love that episode because I just love the fact that Tommy just like it was again like the 12 Angry Men.
He's like, wait, hold on, and
totally fighting it the whole time.
But would Angelica do that for him? She was gonna let him remember when the vase broke, or whatever. Oh, it was Tommy. Oh, it was Tommy. It was Tommy.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it different. Tommy always looks out for people.
Tommy will.
Yeah, Tommy's a guy who, again, it's that if it's the truth, it's the truth. If it exonerates someone who's a piece of crap, but if it's the truth, they don't deserve to be punished for what they didn't do.
And all grown up, he was gonna sacrifice going to the Emeka concert.
Yeah,
it was.
He took the medallion, the dead scorpion medallion.
Yeah, Scorpio, because that's the one she would wear.
Yes.
So stupid.
And because he was really good at doing disco. For some odd reason, he was like the best.
It's so funny, and on that all grown up short, Charlotte doesn't look bad. Then in the TV show, they made her get
like a facelift. She looks kind of like a creepy old lady.
Well, I guess 90s plastic surgery, that joke, but she didn't look that way in that.
Well, I think they did it like we're like, okay, well maybe we'll make it look better with like decent plastic surgery, and then afterwards like let's make it a joke. Let's make it look like
your face all pulled back and
Well, we can talk about this for hours.
I know, because there's a joke like that in the Vegas one. Whenever she's like, "Oh, I saved you money on the facelift on the roller coaster." Yeah.
I always did they live in California?
Yes, they do.
They drove to Vegas pretty damn fast, but they had snow and stuff.
I'm pretty sure they live in California.
Well, it could have been Northern California.
Maybe.
Because they also traveled to the Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they drove to the
Grand Canyon.
The Clam Canyon. They ended up going to the Clam Canyon.
That's something else.
No, they do. They end up going to some like resort and it's called the
Clam.
because it's all you can eat clams. They're so stupid.
Where their grandpa moves out and they show all 4 seasons.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a crazy week. It's only 1 week, but it showed like all the different seasons. We had crazy weather.
Flushing waters.
That's funny.
I like the fact that that's another gag where a character will say something and the TV will answer them. Does it have that? Yes, it does. Like, how can the TV know that's what you're going to say?
Perfect timing.
And it's like a little crab hole.
Yeah.
We have our own private fishing land, and it's just literally like a kiddie pool in the back. Like, it's not fishing.
You have to buy the fish and then catch
them? And then we get to eat them later for dinner.
That sounds great.
That sounds wonderful, Dad.
That's great, Grandpa.
Because, you guys don't want me here, and you left. Like, come on, I don't want to live in some crappy home.
Yeah.
But, if they can recapture some of that magic, but without repeating storylines.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
They did so many episodes,
and some of
they might just repeat episodes without knowing it.
I know, right?
I didn't even realize to do by accident
because it lasted a long time.
What, 10 years?
Over 10 years. A decade in diapers. The special they did.
Yeah.
I know. SpongeBob is their ongoing show, but see how much we're talking about these episodes.
Well, because there's real story moments.
But like me, like something like SpongeBob, there's really maybe there. I don't know, but there's
I
would
say with them early on, they had something, but as soon as it went past like season 6,
but I will admit there were some funny episodes of SpongeBob.
See, that's the thing. SpongeBob definitely had some of those first 5 seasons. There's some episodes that are so funny that just make you die laughing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I think where Rugrats had funny stuff, they had those heart-touching episodes where it was about just growing up and accepting things and certain things you can't change.
Yep.
And that's okay.
And being best friends and loyalty and having adventures
and doing things even though you're scared.
Yes.
Where Tommy and Chucky they were spending the night and Phil and Lo were trying to warn them. It may not be as great. Oh, we're best friends. We're never gonna.
But they got on each other's nerves after a while.
Yay.
Or the part when they had the greenhouse and there's like, oh, Tommy's stuck in there. We're not going in.
And Chucky's like, I don't want to go in there. I'm not supposed to go in there. And they're like, well, we have to go. We're going on an adventure.
Yeah, and it was so cool because the name they had for that place was the Garden of Shadows. I thought that was way freaking cool. And then also, I think Chucky was like really afraid. He's like, "Oh, it's just his skin." He's like, "The creature takes off his skin. That's really." He's like,
"Yeah, that doesn't make me any happier to know that his skin's there."
Yeah, right. But as a kid, you think like, "Oh my gosh, that would be terrifying."
So it's running around without skin. No, thank you.
That's gross.
But it's a lot of fun episodes. You think they're gonna have like a lot of imagination episodes?
Yes, well, they think of something.
They were just in their backyard.
Yeah, where they would like remember the one where they Angelica got the remote control, but it was like could destroy planets, and it was like they space aliens.
The box, that was a good one. A pirate episode. Whenever they went around the thing and Angelica was chasing them.
And Angelica got in trouble.
And I love most of the time when they see that, the parents look like, oh, they're all playing together. And they're like trying
in
to
their minds, they're like trying to kill each other.
Yeah, and the mom's like, oh, it's so sweet.
Which kind of reminds me of Boss Baby, remember in the backyard? Oh, look, they're having fun, but in their minds with this giant epic car chase, but they're just in little like pedal cars.
Yeah, they're just kind of moving slow.
I like the fact that even though it was imaginary, they abided by the rules of the game. So like they didn't get like, oh, I have superpowers now. No, they stayed within the confines of like we're pirates.
They were the mega diaper babies.
That's the greatest X-Men team of all time.
Yeah, it was. I love those guys.
Polka Dot. What was it? The dash line girl.
Line
So she wasn't invisible. She was just an outlining.
Yeah.
So like you're almost invisible.
Yeah.
There's a nephew I wish would follow those rules when they make some mom.
Yeah, like stay to the rules of the imaginary game. Because
Yeah.
once you start changing all the rules, then it's not fun.
Yeah, if you're a superhero pirate, it doesn't make any sense.
Or Cowboy King in space.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, Ninja versus Pirates.
But Nickelodeon has an uphill battle with Rugrats. Because I don't know if they can recapture all those things without one repeating storylines, or two changing things, and like because there's like those little core values. I just don't want them
to be lost.
Yeah.
But they did it with the Peanuts movie. Which
the Peanuts movie I think was beautiful.
Surprised me.
Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Classic.
I wish it had that look. See, that was a 3D-esque look,
but it was better.
But it kept the soul. This literally looks like the 3D version, and it just doesn't have the same kind of sketchy look.
I wish this was the unfinished draft, and they were working.
Yeah,
they're
still doing work on it, but that's exactly what it's going to look like. Is like this,
unfortunately.